দর্শক আমন্ত্রণ আন্তর্জাতিক সম্পর্ক উন্নয়ন বিষয়ক আরটিভির বিশেষ অনুষ্ঠান ডিপ্লোম্যাটিক জোনে আপনাদের সঙ্গে আছে আমি সৈয়দ আশিক রহমান। আমাদের আজকের অতিথি বাংলাদেশে নিযুক্ত শ্রীলঙ্কার হাই কমিশনার হার এক্সেলেন্সি ইয়াসুজা গিনাসেকারা। ওয়েলকাম এক্সেলেন্সি at RTV studio. How do you find it here?
Before we start, I should say Ayubovan, which means long life to you in my language.
Thank you.
And thank you for inviting me to Diplomatic Zone.
It's our pleasure to get you here. We are really honored.
Thank you.
Well, Excellency, you have a high mission to represent Sri Lanka as High Commissioner in Bangladesh. Would you please share your experience with us so far?
Well, first I must say I've been very touched by the deep affection for Sri Lanka and for Sri Lankans that has been expressed to me by Bangladeshis from all walks of life ever since I came here. As you know, our countries are actually family, we're cousins, and our bilateral relationship is a very warm one. We cooperate in many ways. Best example of this is probably cricket. If you look at the importance of Sri Lankan coaches, particularly Haturu Singha, in terms of bringing out the star performance of the Bangladesh cricket team. This is an example of win-win cooperation between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. We have a number of Sri Lankan companies that have invested here. So we see Sri Lanka as an economic partner of Bangladesh.
Very good economic partner, especially in RMG sector. We get big support from your country and lots of Sri Lankan shipping corporation in Bangladesh, they are working.
We have a number of Sri Lankans working here in garments and in shipping, and we have about $350 million worth of investment here.
315 million
worth of investment by Sri Lankan companies. So we have some of Sri Lanka's top companies working here actually, and of course creating thousands of jobs in Bangladesh and mutual prosperity. So some of these companies would include the commercial bank in the banking sector. They have almost 20 branches here. Sri Lanka's #1 bank. We have Sri Lanka's top 3 garment manufacturers manufacturing here, Mars, Hydromanis and Brandix. Then we have Laktanavi in the power sector. They have about $100 million worth of investment here in power projects in Komila and Natok. Then we have LAFS, which is the third biggest gas company, the third biggest gas company in Bangladesh.
Great.
And then, of course, in the IT sector, which is an area where Bangladesh is now fast developing, eWiz, a Sri Lankan company, was one of the first companies to invest in the new IT park.
IT park.
They're manufacturing laptops here in Bangladesh. And eSoft has invested in technical education, IT education, just to give you some examples of Sri Lankan companies
thank
here.
you. Would you please share with our viewers about your impression on the social and economical standing of Bangladesh?
It's very clear that Bangladesh is in the process of taking off, particularly economically. I think ADB said recently that Bangladesh is one of the top 5 emerging nations in the world economically. And it's one of the next 11 economies according to Goldman Sachs. Of course, socially also, a lot of work is being done by the Bangladesh authorities to improve the social development of the people, and it's very clear that a lot of transformational changes are taking place in this country. In terms of similarity, both our countries share a lot of commonality in terms of history, language, culture. We're both multicultural countries. We both have people who follow the 4 major traditions of the world religiously: Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam and Christianity. And we're both economically transforming very fast.
Well, please comment on recent state visit of Sri Lankan President to Bangladesh and impact on bilateral relations and your views.
His Excellency President Maithripala Sirisena was in Bangladesh from the 13th to 15th on a state visit.
Exactly.
During this visit, he had meetings with President Abdul Hamid, with Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, with the Speaker, the Leader of the Opposition, Ministers of Health and of Foreign Affairs. And there were very productive talks between the President of Sri Lanka and the Prime Minister of Bangladesh.
Right.
I think as somebody who was in the meeting, one very important takeaway was how both the leaders stressed the importance of developing mutual prosperity, of creating benefits for both countries, using our complementarities.
Right.
And actually during this meeting they also talked about regional issues of mutual concern and international issues. And they stressed how important it is, given the complementarities, for the business leaders of our two countries to work together more closely, to explore investment in particular in both countries, as well as joint ventures and public-private partnership. So both the leaders stressed the importance of the business communities, in whether it is through chambers or business associations, working more closely together. The bilateral relationship was significantly strengthened as a result of this visit. And of course we signed 13 MOUs
13 MOUs
and one agreement
in
a number of areas, including shipping, agriculture, higher education and IT
sectors. And what about the implementation? You already studied, or there is some short-term, long-term?
Well, obviously there'll be a lot of work in terms of implementing these decisions, because there's a number of different areas in which cooperation has been agreed.
Well, Excellency, a decision was taken at the meeting to conclude free trade agreement between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. Does a free trade agreement bring benefits for both countries?
Actually, both our countries are members already of the South Asia Free Trade Agreement, SAFTA, and the Asia Pacific Free Trade Agreement, APTA, and the BIMSTEC Free Trade Agreement, which is in the process of being finalized. But we are hoping to conclude a bilateral free trade agreement by the end of this year. It's very important that the business leaders of the two countries work together to take the benefits that are available from an FTA. So everything is dependent really on the business leaders exploring the opportunities. If you look at the current trade between our two countries, it's way below potential. At the moment, Sri Lanka does so many well-known international products.
Exactly.
We have our famous Ceylon tea. We have so many gems and jewelry products that we export all over the world. Of course, we're most famous for our blue sapphires.
Exactly.
We do seafood products. We do premium coconut products, rubber products, and of course, we're well known in the RMG sector as well. So we have many products that we'd like to sell to this country. And there are many Sri Lankan companies that believe in Bangladesh's future prospects. So they want to invest and they want to trade with Bangladesh. So it's really important that the business leaders of both countries explore the potential.
Exactly, Excellency. Please comment on Sri Lanka's strategic importance on world shipping routes.
So Sri Lanka enjoys a very important geostrategic location. It has three important aspects: our contiguity to the Indian subcontinent, our equidistance between East Asia and East Africa, which makes it possible for us to bestride that whole region, and of course our location on the superhighway of international trade in the 21st century, the Indian Ocean, where East meets West. So Sri Lanka is located right in the center of this superhighway.
Right in the center
of the superhighway, the trading superhighway of the 21st century.
So that is a big advantage.
That is a big advantage.
Or your privilege.
And the Sri Lankan government is actually trying to utilize this location to ensure that Sri Lanka becomes the business, trading and logistics hub of our region.
What do you think about Bangladesh?
It's very important to note that the Port of Colombo is the only deep sea port which is a commercial entity in South Asia, and we are the only hub between Dubai and Singapore,
Singapore
that can receive the new large ocean-going vessels, which are more than 5,000 TEU in size.
Bangladesh and Sri Lanka are prominent members of regional organizations such as SAARC, BIMSTECs, etc. What is your opinion on BIMSTEC?
Well, as you know, during the recent state visit of President SriLanka, both the leaders of our countries stressed the importance of living in a stable and peaceful and prosperous region. As you may know, BIMSTEC had a ministerial meeting in Kathmandu recently, and the Honorable Vasanta Senanayake, who is the State Minister of Foreign Affairs, represented Sri Lanka at this meeting. In his comments, he stressed the importance of the forthcoming BIMSTEC FTA. He said that when this FTA is in place, then the true potential of BIMSTEC will be seen. And of course, Sri Lanka is very interested in working towards the stated objectives of BIMSTEC, because this is very much in line with Sri Lanka's own national interest, which is to start off by prospering in our own neighborhood and then go beyond our neighborhood into the wider Asia and then beyond into the international world. So this is a very important regional organization, and Sri Lanka is a very, very active and very committed member.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, Excellency, we'll talk more after a short break.
Thank you.
দর্শক দেখছেন আন্তর্জাতিক সম্পর্ক উন্নয়ন বিষয়ক আরটিভির বিশেষ অনুষ্ঠান ডিপ্লোম্যাটিক জোন। এই পর্যায়ে নিচ্ছি বিরতি, ফিরছি একটু পরে। সে পর্যন্ত আমাদের সাথেই থাকুন। দর্শক, আবারও আমন্ত্রণ আন্তর্জাতিক সম্পর্ক উন্নয়ন বিষয়ক আরটিভির বিশেষ অনুষ্ঠান ডিপ্লোম্যাটিক জোনে। কথা বলছিলাম বাংলাদেশে নিযুক্ত শ্রীলঙ্কার হাই কমিশনার হার এক্সেলেন্সি ইয়োসোজা গুনাসেকারার সঙ্গে। Welcome again, Excellency, as RTV studio.
Thank you.
There is a saying that the island of Sri Lanka is a small universe. A number of Bangladeshi people visit to Sri Lanka for tourism. Please comment on Sri Lanka as a tourism destination, and as I discussed with you a few minutes back, that how to increase our tourism or how to develop it between two countries.
Thank you for that question. As you may be aware, Sri Lanka was given the title of Asia's leading tourism destination at the World Travel Awards in Shanghai recently. We've got a number of other international recognition in tourism, including we're on the top 10 hot destinations for 2017 by the Vogue magazine in the UK, and many others. We crossed 2 million tourists a year in 2016.
2 million tourists in a year.
We are very, very attractive now on the international tourism routes. And actually the Bangladesh tourism numbers have grown tenfold from 2010 to 2016.
Great.
I think in 2016 we had about 11,000 Bangladeshi tourists.
11,000. But it could be more.
It could be so much more, because I know that Bangladeshis are enjoying traveling both around the region and internationally. So we would like to have significantly more Bangladeshis visiting Sri Lanka, and we would like to be able to share our beautiful island with them.
What will be your initiative to develop or to bring more Bangladeshi tourists over there and bring more Sri Lankan tourists to Bangladesh?
Well, I think that we need to have easier movement of people between the two countries. Sri Lanka currently gives visa on arrival, as well as electronic visa, which means that you can apply online. And we'd like to have ease of travel to Bangladesh so that we can come and visit your beautiful country too. I know you have a lot of places of interest, particularly some of the Buddhist heritage. I think there'd be a lot of interest in Sri Lanka. In terms of more travel, I think we'd like to do more travel events so that we can share with the Bangladeshi
Ayurvedic.
population. Well, we have a lot of
Herbal.
Ayurvedic products in Sri Lanka. I think that a lot more people are coming for Ayurvedic spa treatment now to Sri Lanka. We have Ayurveda is our traditional healthcare system. It's about 5,000 years old, and we have a number of well-known companies now who are in this area, such as Siddhalepa and Spa Ceylon, who have gone international with their products. I'd just like to share with the viewership what you might like to go and see in Sri Lanka if you were to visit Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is a country with 8 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, 2 of which are ecological, because Sri Lanka has very large biodiversity.
Great.
For instance, you have the largest mammal on earth, the
Mammals
elephant,
in the earth.
as well as the largest mammal in the sea, the blue whale.
Great.
Both can be seen in Sri Lanka. And we have 2 UNESCO World Heritage Sites which focus on our ecological heritage,
Exactly.
Singharaja Forest Reserve and the Central Highlands.
Well,
We have 2 ancient cities as part of our UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The first capital city, Anuradhapura, which dates back to the 4th century BC,
Well.
and the second capital city, Polonnaruwa, which dates to the 10th century AD. And both of these are well worth seeing. A very popular destination with Bangladeshi tourists who have visited is the last capital city of Sri Lanka, Kandy, where you see the very famous tooth of the Temple of the Tooth. And you also have the annual Perahara, the Asala Perahara, which just concluded a few weeks ago. It's a wonderful spectacle of Sri Lankan arts and culture. And it's really something fantastic to see. We have the Dutch fort of Galle, and that is the best preserved seaport in South Asia.
great.
So we have a number of different attractive places to go and visit, and we'd like to have more Bangladeshi tourists coming and exploring what we have in Sri Lanka.
Well, how do you promote?
Well, at this point in time, it's mainly through word of mouth. We are hoping to do some major campaigns in the near future to attract the Bangladeshi market. One of which is, of course, the Colombo International Shopping Festival, which will take place in late October. So people can go and bring back some of the Ayurvedic spa products, some of the blue sapphires.
So you have to
are
make
world
some
famous.
campaign on it.
Exactly.
Well, Excellency, more than 3,000 Lankan professionals are working in Bangladesh, especially in RMG sectors. In your view, how does a professional exchange may work in bilateral development between 2 countries?
Now, as you said, we have about 3,000 to 5,000 Sri Lankans working here. And I must say that all of them are very, very fond of your country. In fact, they're like ambassadors of Bangladesh when they go around the world promoting Bangladesh, and they have a very deep affection for Bangladesh, very positive experience of the hospitality of the host country.
Right.
The Sri Lankans, as you pointed out, work mainly in the RMG and the shipping and logistics sector. And if you just take RMG as an example, this is a wonderful example of win-win cooperation between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. You have top Bangladeshi companies who have made Bangladesh the 2nd largest garment manufacturing hub in the world. And they've looked to their friendly partner Sri Lanka for specialized management expertise. So this is a very win-win situation, and this is an example of what we can do together as 2 countries.
Great. Well, Excellency, how do you think television and other electronics media, even social media, could promote your activities, and both our country could be promoted and we could get the benefit?
Well, of course, the media is critical in terms of sharing the message, of creating awareness and understanding. So I deeply value the interest RTV has taken in talking to me, and of course I have a lot of friends in the Bangladeshi media. You've been very supportive of sharing Sri Lanka's message with the wider community in this country.
Well, great. We are almost end of the program. Any final thoughts you want to share with our viewers?
Okay, so I would just like to thank you again for this wonderful conversation. We've just completed a very important state visit to Bangladesh by His Excellency President Maithripala Sirisena,
Right.
and this will be very important in terms of further strengthening and deepening the partnership between our two countries. As I have stated earlier, Sri Lanka has very attractive investment incentives. We have world-renowned trade products such
Wow.
as our tea and such as our gems and jewelry, our RMG sector products, our seafood, coconut products, rubber. We would love for the two business communities to work together
Right.
and explore more economic opportunities, to work together in joint ventures, in private-public partnerships for
Public-private
mutual
partnerships.
prosperity, as
Exactly.
our leaders have encouraged us to do so in the last in the state visit of President Sirisena. Sri Lanka, as I indicated earlier, is the business, financial and logistics hub of South Asia.
Well.
And we have the port of Colombo, which is the only deep sea commercial port in
Commercial.
South Asia. We'd like more Bangladeshi companies to utilize this attractive facility you have in your neighborhood. And of course, we want more Bangladeshis to come and visit Sri Lanka.
Visit Sri Lanka.
We have more than 2 million visitors a year now coming from all over the world. We want more Bangladeshis to come and visit our 8 UNESCO World Heritage sites, visit our 1,340 kilometers of beach. It's a beautiful country, the greenest island in South Asia, and we encourage your viewers to come and visit us and see for themselves the friendly hospitality that you will receive, the friendly welcome from the people of Sri Lanka to the people of
Great,
Bangladesh.
great. Thank you very much, Excellency. Thank you very much for sharing your views with our viewers and with us. We wish you good health, all success and prosperity.
Thank you very much.
And we are really honored to have you in this studio for you find time for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Dhanyabad.
থ্যাংক ইউ দর্শক, বাংলাদেশ এবং শ্রীলঙ্কার মধ্যে রয়েছে ঐতিহাসিক এবং ঐতিহ্যবাহী সম্পর্ক। গেল 4 দশকে দুই দেশের মধ্যে দ্বিপাক্ষিক সহযোগিতা বৃদ্ধি পেয়েছে উল্লেখযোগ্য হারে। বিশেষ করে দেশটির রাষ্ট্রপতির সর্বশেষ বাংলাদেশ সফর দুই দেশের সম্পর্কে পৌঁছে দিয়েছে অন্য এক মাত্রায়। আর মুক্ত বাণিজ্য চুক্তি সম্পাদনের মাধ্যমে সে সম্পর্কে আসুক নতুন দিগন্ত, এই প্রত্যাশা শেষ করছি আজকের ডিপ্লোম্যাটিক জোন। এতক্ষণ আমাদের সাথে থাকার জন্য ধন্যবাদ সবাই।